Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. I am not a psychic or a real estate fortune teller, but do you remember what I said 3 weeks ago? Then I foresee that we're going to be seeing more home price records being broken this year. Well, that happened already, and we're only a few months into 2021. However, a home price record was not the only record that was broken. In today's housing market update, I'm going to be sharing the latest stats with you for the California housing market. I'm going to share a new report that was just released last Friday from the California Association of Realtors. And honestly, my jaw dropped when I read this report, so you're going to want to stick around for this video. Let's dive right in because I have a lot to share with you today. For the sixth time since last summer, home prices in California have reached record highs. So March's statewide median home price was just under $760,000, and that's up 8.6% from February 2021 and up a whopping 23.9% from March 2020. This year-over-year gain of almost 24% was the highest in almost 7 years. To give you some perspective about how impressive these stats are, and we just started the video here, and because, of course, I'm super nerdy and I follow these stats on a regular basis, but the previous record high was set in December last year, and that was $718,000. So now we've blown past the previous record by almost $40,000. In addition, the median home price in California has grown by more than 20% for the third month in a row. And keep in mind, we're talking about January, February, and March, which is typically a time when the real estate market cools, right? Especially in January and February. Another record that was broken was the price per square foot in California, which rose to $357 per square foot, and that is an all-time high. With strong demand from home buyers and a lack of houses available for sale, this drove the sales to list price ratio to reach an all-time high of 102.2%. This means on average that houses in California are selling for 2.2% over the asking price. So for an asking price of $500,000, that is selling for $511,000 on average. Obviously, this does not guarantee that if you sell your house in California, that you will sell it for more than your asking price. However, these stats clearly demonstrate how competitive our housing market is right now. When looking at home sales in California, they were 20% higher compared to 1 year ago, but home sales actually dipped for the third month in a row, and the sales pace was the lowest pace since last July. And by the way, if you're getting any value out of this video so far, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that because that helps support the channel. So thanks so much for doing that, and let's go ahead and dive right back into the video. The California Association of Realtors president, Dave Walsh, had a really good quote here that I wanted to share with you today. So he said, while intense home buying interest is the engine that continues to drive housing demand, a shortage of homes for sale is a rocket fuel pushing prices higher across the state. A lack of homes for sale is creating unprecedented market competition, leading to a record share of homes selling above the asking price in March. With more of the state's restrictions being lifted in the coming months as we move into the spring home buying season, we should see home sales improve as more prospective home sellers feel comfortable listing their homes for sale. In other words, housing inventory is still extremely low, so if inventory were to increase, sales should as well. And the recent dip of home sales is more a reflection of the lack of houses available for sale. And that leads me to this crazy stat here, because active listings fell 51% in March from last year. And that's the third consecutive month that listings declined by more than 50%. What also continues to amaze me is the fact that we have a lack of houses available for sale across many parts of the nation, but also across many parts of the state of California. For example, 49 out of the 51 counties reported by CAR recorded a decline in active listings on a year-over-year basis in March, and 30 out of the 51 dropped by more than half of what they had a year ago. Yuba had the biggest drop in March, with active listings plunging 77.9% from last year. Calaveras and Amador were the other two counties with more than a 70% decline in for sale properties at the end of the first quarter. In contrast, San Francisco and Sonoma counties were the only two counties in the entire state of California that had an increase of active listings compared to 1 year ago. Here's something I found to be very interesting. So while more than half of the counties in the entire state had a drop of active listings by more than 50%, San Francisco had a whopping 95.3% increase of active listings compared to 1 year ago. This saturation of homes available for sale in San Francisco caused home prices there to only increase 6% compared to 1 year ago. This is between 2 to 5 times less than the surrounding counties in the San Francisco Bay Area. For example, in the East Bay's Contra Costa County, where home prices are about half of San Francisco, the median home price there surged 29.4%, or about 5 times more than the rate we saw in San Francisco. And for anyone waiting for more houses to be listed for sale, inventory actually did increase, and it increased about 5% when you compare it to February to March of this year. And I expect that number to be increasing as we approach the spring home buying season. Meanwhile, the housing market in resort-like communities in California continues to surge. So home sales in South Lake Tahoe skyrocketed 28% compared to 1 year ago. Here's something I found to be absolutely mind-boggling, but let me first give you a brief background. CAR breaks down the state in 7 major regions. Those are the Los Angeles metro area, the Central Coast, Central Valley, Far North, Inland Empire, the San Francisco Bay Area, and Southern California. And here's the crazy stat for you, because according to CAR, every major region set a new record high median home price in March 2021. So how nuts is that? Every single one of those 7 regions in California reached an all-time record high home price in March. In other words, we're seeing home prices surge to levels that we have not seen before across the state. In fact, every single one of the 51 counties that CAR tracks reported a gain in the median price on a year-over-year basis, with 45 of those 51 increasing more than 10%. Mono had the largest price growth of 155.6% in March. That was followed by Santa Barbara and Monterey. And get this, 27 counties set a new record high median price in March. San Francisco had the smallest price growth of all counties. In Sacramento, where I live and work as a real estate agent, our home prices here increased 21% compared to 1 year ago. Due to the sky-high home buyer demand in California and a lack of houses available for sale, homes are selling faster than they ever have before. The median days on the market hit a record low of 8 days in March, and that was down from 15 days in March 2020. Compare that to Sacramento, and our average days on the market is only 6 days. All right, so let me give you my honest opinion about this housing market update that I'm sharing with you today. So at the time of this video, this is my 191st video that I posted on YouTube, and the vast majority of those videos are housing market updates. I post these videos on a regular basis, like you probably know. But out of all the videos I posted, this video and the stats I'm sharing in this video are probably the most impressive stats I've seen to date. For March, we had records set for home prices, price per square foot, sales to list price ratio, and in addition to that, we had a record low set for days on the market. I have never seen so many records broken in one single month. In my opinion, unless inventory or interest rates increase greatly, then home prices will continue to increase this year. As you may know, interest rates were about 2.7% at the beginning of 2021, but they increased to almost 3.5% in March. However, that trend has changed recently because rates have actually decreased slightly so far this year in April. I think we're going to see a lot of home buyers out there this spring that are fearful that interest rates are going to increase. So they're going to try to buy a house before that happens. I'm not saying this is something that I would advise, but I definitely think this is going to be something we're going to be seeing this spring. And in regards to housing inventory in California, inventory in March was flirting with record low levels. As you can see from this chart, over the last 16 years, the supply of homes for sale in California obviously peaked in 2007 and 2008 when there was a 16-month supply. Compare that to last month, and we only had a 1.6 month supply, or about 10 times less than 2007 and 2008. For anyone who's watched a video on YouTube lately who said that the housing market is crashing very soon, then please share this video with them. And the lack of houses available for sale is not just a California problem, it's across much of the nation. Given that housing inventory across the nation and in California is so low, a lot would have to change in order to create a housing market crash. In fact, I actually made a video about what to look out for that would be indicators of a housing market crash, and I'll leave a link to that video right up there. However, what I'm most concerned about with our housing market right now is affordability. So obviously home prices cannot increase indefinitely, but as prices continue to rise, then affordability becomes more and more of an issue. And at some point that should lessen home buyer demand. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And also consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I post videos about how this pandemic is affecting our housing market. You also can follow me on Instagram. I'm Sacramento Realtor. Hope you have an awesome day and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.